it's Kayla with Common Cheer. I'm starting some ranunculus today. 3 different colors here that I picked up last week from a wholesaler. And I wanted to make a little video and show you how I do it. It's really easy and you can definitely do it at home too. I have a bunch of these extra, so if you do want to try them, hit me up. I can sell them to you. So, let's do it. They come in little bags of 5. You can just pop it off and open the little baggie. And they're really strange little dried up corms. They're totally dry and we need to hydrate them. How we're going to soak them is we're going to put them in some water in the sink and let a little trickle come down. I'll show you how that's done. But first, what you want to do, if you have more than one color, you want to get some really high-tech old sour cream lids, cut them up, and get your Sharpie out and label what color they are so you know. So I have the salmon here. I already wrote it down. I'm going to toss it in the bag. I'm just using the bags that they actually came in because they have holes and they'll keep all of the salmon together. And this one is the white, so I'll toss one in the white. And then other things you can use, I'm just showing you, are like mesh bags like this or onion, produce, avocado bags. They're good because they let the water through and they keep all of the same color together. So go ahead and toss your labels in there. And then we're going to put it in the kitchen sink in a bowl. So they're all separate, but they're in the same bowl. And we're just going to let the water trickle. Water temperature is important. You don't want it hot because you'll cook them. And you don't want it too cold because it'll take a really long time to hydrate if you have really cold water. Trust me, I did it last year and I know. You'll have to do it way longer if you're using cold water. So room temperature, you know, just comfortable to touch with your hand is perfect. And we're gonna sit them in the sink with the water trickling to keep some oxygen in the water so you don't get funky water and that can increase rot for about 4 hours. So let's do it. So there's my marshmallow color going in the bowl. Actually, another little trick I like is bread clips. You can just use them to kind of close the bag so that you don't have stragglers popping out of your bag and then you don't know what color they are. That's if you care what color they are. If you're just mixing them all in the garden, that's totally fine and you can skip the labels and just throw them all in a bowl without a bag. So, got them in the bowl there. Yeah, kind of not too hot, not too cold, lukewarm, room temperature. So we're just gonna fill out that bowl. Then honestly, I just leave it trickling like that for, 3-4 hours. You can check back on them. They'll start to soak up the water and get nice and plump. You'll definitely see the difference. I'll show you before and after too. So yeah, let's just set a timer. There we go. Okay, so it's been 4 hours. I'm gonna turn the tap off and I'll show you what they look like. So you can see this one is nice and plump now. This was before, it's all dried and shriveled. So the 4-hour soak in room temperature water made them nice and plump, and now we're going to put them in a tray. Let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna need a tray to put all these in. I'm gonna use these big black 10-inch by 20-inch trays because I have a few more than you probably would do at home. But if you're a home gardener and you're just starting 5 or 10, these clamshells, from tomatoes or berries or whatever are really good. I would just take it, use some scrap flyer, and put it in the bottom. So when you put your soil in, the soil doesn't come out the bottom. And then it's really good. You can close the lid and shove it in your fridge or your cold area or whatever. But we're going to use big trays. So I've got some potting soil here. It's just peat and vermiculite and perlite. And we want to get it moistened. So I've got water here and we'll just moisten it. You want it to be slightly moistened but not wet. You definitely don't want water coming out of it when you're squeezing it. It just needs to be wet enough for the little corms to want to set roots. You don't want it wet enough that they're going to start molding or rotting. Okay, that looks good. It's not wet, but it's definitely moistened, a little bit damp. So I'm going to toss some in this tray, about halfway full. About like that. And now we'll take whatever's in this bag. Ooh, the marshmallow. And you can just dump them out. I'll be kind of gentle with them because those little legs can break off, so you want to try to keep most of them intact. But then you'll just go and arrange them with the little pointy parts facing down in the soil. Can give them a little bit of space. So I've got them all arranged, and we're just gonna cover them up with a little bit of extra stuff on top. Just so they're covered. It's a little bit dry, so I might just mist it gently to make sure the top's just a little bit moist. Moist enough so the roots want to get going, but not enough to rot them, remember? So now we've got our tray. These are actually going to go in a cold, dark place. So I have a cold room here. It's actually fluctuates between 10 and 14 degrees. We keep it in there for about 2 weeks. If you don't have a cold room, use the coldest, darkest place in your house, or if you're using one of these clamshells and you just have 5 or 10, you've got the lid on them, you can put them in your fridge. Like between 4 and 10 degrees Celsius is good. So you can just put these in your fridge and check on them every few days. Make sure that the mixture is not getting too dry on top. If it is, just gently mist it. You want it just evenly damp. And then eventually they're gonna start sprouting. So I've got some that I actually did almost, it's 2.5 weeks ago now. So I'm gonna show you them. So here they are. You can kind of see there's sprouts coming up on them. So I'm removing these from my cold, dark room now. I'm gonna put them under lights until Tuesday, after this cold snap is finished, and I'm gonna plant them in the hoop house. But I'll just show you what they kind of look like inside, underneath. So you can see they're getting nice big white roots, and this is a stem that your actual plant's gonna come out of. So they're looking really healthy, and these are ready to be planted. So I'm planting these in my hoop house, but you can plant them outside in your garden. You can put them in pots, which I kind of recommend putting them in pots. They like colder weather. So once it gets above 24 degrees Celsius, the cats are running around. They're gonna wanna shut down and stop flowering. So if you have them in a pot or container on your deck or in your yard, you can easily just scoot them back into a cooler area of your yard while the heat is on, so you can keep them blooming a little bit longer. And then if you're starting them right now, like I am, you can keep them out during the day, but if it's gonna get below, you know, -4, -2 outside, you can bring them in so they can stay nice and cozy. They can take a little bit of frost, but not a lot. So a pot makes it easy for you to just bring them in and out and keep them safe. Okay, so that's how it's done. I have 3 colors available for home gardeners to try at home. They'll be available on my website right away here, just kind of sorting out the annoying little parts of running your own website, but they'll be on shortly. And if you have any other questions, let me know.